Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti. I am your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to talk to women. Whoa, big topic, right? All right, so I want to get into it right now. Women want to feel as though they're heard just as much as you men. But before we get into it, I want to say something right here. It's really important that you understand that a woman, when she's into you, should always be reciprocating, plain and simple. If this woman is giving you excuses, not reciprocating, hot and cold, and shooting this BS, my question to you is, why are you trying to convince this woman to like you, really? Because there's so many other women out there that are willing to take the bull by its horns and see you as a good man that has done the work, because you're here on my channel, and I know you have, and understands his own self-worth and his value for a woman, right? So he respects himself enough to understand that if a woman doesn't respect him and see value in him, then it's just kind of like, let me move on, right? So when you come in this mindset, it helps you be more of an effective communicator. That's why I talk about this first. Because you come in the mindset of, I don't want to say that you're not caring, because you do care, and I want you to, but it's more of, you have to come in the mindset of understanding who the person is in front of you before you really see and open up that you guys want the same thing. And that takes time, right? So communicating with women, I'll give you some advice when it comes to women on a woman's perspective, is women want men to initiate. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I want to be clear though, when. It's really when you meet them. Yes, I wish, trust me, I do, women would approach men and start and initiate here and there. And I know some women that do, and I go on other channels that you've seen probably me be a part of with coaches that coach women, and I talk about this openly on their channels, that they need to do this, especially if they want to find a good man of love. But I don't want to get carried on with that. So what I'm saying is, in the beginning, they just want you to initiate. They want you to set up the date. Possibly they want you to reach out after you meet them, text them, but she's always going to be responding, okay? So here's the thing where I just don't want you to get misconstrued here, is even though you're initiating, you don't continue to initiate if you never heard from this woman. If she doesn't text you back, or she's playing hot and cold, and then all of a sudden 2 days later message you back and say, hey, how are you? And then you ask her out again and she just avoids the question, or she doesn't give you an excuse like, listen, I've been traveling for work, I've been really busy, but I would love to see you next week. How about we plan something for next week? This is initiating, this is compromise, right? So what you're not gonna do is continue to initiate if a woman is not giving you the time and value that you deserve. But what you do in the beginning is initiate, slowly but surely. Ask her out on a date, set something up here and there, which I've made so many videos about. Once you do this, how you become a better communicator with a girl is basically by being a little bit of assertive. And just because you're being assertive doesn't mean you tell the woman what to do. What I'm saying is just say, hey, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's do dinner on Friday at 7 p.m. Are you available? That's just going being direct, straight to the point. No, I'm not available. All right, great. So you'd let me know when you're available this weekend. What other time works best for you, and I'll see if it works best for me. Get into the point. I always say, men, make your texting business if you can't pick up the phone and call. A lot of times we always don't pick up the phone and call because we're working and we're trying to set up the date. Probably, who knows? But I always say that, which leads me to the next tip is picking up the phone and calling a woman. This is so important for men to understand that women do sometimes want to be on the phone with you. And women will indirectly or directly lead you, right? So for example, there's women out there that will tell a man like, listen, I don't really like talking on the phone. I'll rather prefer just texting here and there. Okay, great. So now you know that she's already done that. That's your hint that she doesn't want you to call her, right? But if you like this woman and she likes you, pick up the phone and call her. Communicate with her, listen, ask her questions. There's a manual that I made. It's the 20 question manual to get to know a woman's true self, and I'll put it below in the description link. Download that free manual, because those are questions that can really open up a conversation with a woman, and you can really understand who she is. That's why it's get to know her true self. These are not surface level questions. These are deep questions. And I really encourage you to use these questions when you've been dating this woman, not the first date, but more of like the third, the fourth date, when you're kind of gotten into a deeper connection. And tip number 3 on how to communicate with women is being a leader in some way, right? So lead the way as far as, if you see something or she says something that was either disrespectful or you didn't like, question it. This is significant. If you don't take anything from this video, number 3 is the biggest thing, is if you see something, men, that this woman is doing, maybe after hours or after work, or I don't know, there's so many things that are coming through my head. But what I'm saying here is, if there is a red flag, question it. Question her intent, because what we tend to do as men, and I'm saying we, but what men tend to do is they get so fixated on this woman is perfect. But I ask, why is she perfect? Well, she's beautiful, and I know she has so much value in her, blah, blah, blah. But the woman has to be able to see the value in herself. And also, she has to be able to offer you something. So what is this woman going to be able to offer you in your life? You got to look at it this way. Like, how can she offer me something just as much as I can offer her something as well? And that's why I say, takes 2 to tango here. If you are a man on purpose, if you are a man that comes from self-worth, dignity, and has a lot of pride for yourself and respects you, you will find a woman that respects you. But the challenge here is sometimes you will date the women that probably don't either want the same thing or not as secure within themselves and are doing things, you know? But that's why it's so important that you question their intention, to understand that, listen, if you think this is okay, then that shows me the person that you are, and I don't stand for this. I mean, it's either you don't do this anymore, or if you think it's okay and you continue to do it, then we're not a match. This is so important because it shows that you're a leader, shows that you're coming from a place of pride, and you're putting yourself first, but also respecting her by telling her that it's not tolerated because of the reason possibly it's a disrespectful thing, or it's maybe the wrong thing to do. And tip number 4 is building an emotional connection. And the thing here is, it's important that you build an emotional connection with a woman to make sure that not only is this fun, is this relationship interesting, you build mystery, but you're also connecting with her on a much deeper level, and she's open to this. That's the key. She's open to this. And you don't have to convince her to be with you. It just naturally flows and things happen. I'll do a video about how to build emotional connection, because this is like a whole series for you men that I'm going to be able to do soon. And I'll put it up here in the cards if it's ready. As always, I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.